Welcome back. Today I need to analyze some of my recent rapid games over on Lichess, and this is the third time I've attempted to do this intro, and hopefully my analysis abilities today are doing better than my speaking abilities. I've fumbled and mumbled throughout the last couple of takes. I know 3 takes isn't that bad if you're a movie star, but I'm not a movie star. I tend to just do these in 1 or 2 takes. But anyway, I have a backlog here of about 10 games. I've scrolled down in my rapid archive here to, it says 1 week ago, but we know that Lichess doesn't say the exact day or time that it was played. It just says a week ago, rounding to the nearest week. So this is more like 10 days ago, 9 days ago, etc. I know it's probably better for my chess development to do an in-depth analysis of just a few of these games, rather than a surface analysis of a bunch of them. But as I've probably mentioned on this channel, I don't have a lot of time each day to devote to chess, and so I've got to go with the time that I have. So what I'm going to do in this video is try to do 10 games. Believe it or not, I have already pulled up the first one here. This is the ending of it. I did win. I played the Caro-Kann defense. But instead of going through with Stockfish, which is what I usually do here, in order to speed this up, I'm going to click the little button down here on the lower right that says Learn from Your Mistakes. I do this on the app sometimes, but I don't know that I've ever done it on the website. So hopefully I don't mess this up. I'm just going to click it, and what it should do, if it's anything like the app, is it'll take me to a position in which I made a mistake, a blunder, or an inaccuracy. It'll have a little arrow showing what I did play and saying I should have played something else, and I've got to figure out my best move. So I'm going to click that now. Okay, this is back on move 5. Wow, that was early, wasn't it? I shouldn't be making mistakes that early in the Caro-Kann. I played queen to a5 check, which I'm not sure why that's counted as a mistake. I know that they can block here, block the check and protect the bishop at the same time. But my idea was that then I would play the a-pawn here to threaten the bishop, in which case they usually take the knight. Then when I took here, there would be nothing between my queen and this pawn, which would not be protected by anything at that point. And it does look like that's what happened. But then on the next move, they played bishop to d2, attacking my queen, which allowed me to take the pawn. So I don't know why it was a mistake, but I should have played something different. I'm going to guess it was e6. Is that the problem with queen to a5? Is it undefends this pawn? Let's see. It doesn't say whether or not that was the best move or not. It just now right here behind my camera says, no significant mistakes found for black. Okay, well that didn't really help me a lot then. Except, let's just go back and I'll just turn on the engine here. There are no lines showing up. That's weird. Do I have to close the Learn from Your Mistakes? Oh, I do. Okay. Okay, it was e6. All right. On the app, when it says this was your mistake, what should you have played instead, and you play the right move, it says good move, or something like that. So the website's a little different, looks like. Let's go on to the next game. In the next game, I had the white pieces. I played e4. My opponent played the Scandinavian, and I lost. Okay, this one, it says I had a boatload of mistakes. I'm going to click Learn from Your Mistakes and see what we can learn. My first mistake was on move 4, apparently. I played d4 here. I should have played something else. I'm going to guess it was bishop to e2. Oh, it says I have +2 advantage at this point. What should I have done? Or should I have just taken that pawn? I'm going to say take the pawn. Okay, oh, it did right here, the big check mark. It said good move, and then there's a next button. That's what it does on the app. That's what I was expecting in the last one. Okay, so it was taking that. But the difference is on the app, you don't have a little toggle right up here at the upper right that you can just turn on Stockfish and go back and see if that was your actual best move. But I'm guessing if I do that, it's going to take me out of the Learn from Your Mistakes setting. So I don't want to mess that up, because I do understand why that was probably better than what I played, which was d4. I guess the problem with d4 is that it just allowed them to take my front d-pawn, because I had a pawn there on d5. And this way, I get to take something out with the pawn. I assume that's going to help them develop, but I still have this, and I guess I can move it out or play that later. All right, next move. My next mistake was on move 22, where I played queen to f5 here. Why did I play that? What was I thinking? Oh, I think what I was thinking was to get out of the way of these pawns. I thought their next move was probably going to be to put that pawn there on e4, which would be a fork of my 2 pieces. So I wanted to get my queen out of the way of that, but apparently I should have done something else. Oh, should I have just taken this pawn? It's undefended. I don't know why I didn't see that during the game. It looks like I had 8 minutes left at this point. I should have seen that. Was it that? It says it's evaluating my move, so that must have not been the one that it wanted. Oh, but it says, you see the green check mark. It says that was good. So it wasn't the best one, because it already had in mind the best one, and it would have said good move immediately. It says I would have had +5 if I had played that. Okay, next. Well, okay, this was the very next move, it looks like. After I put my queen there, they made a mistake by pushing this pawn, which threatens my knight. And I moved here to check, which forced a queen trade. And I was ahead here too, looks like, after their mistake, and I had a better move than checking and forcing the queen trade. The problem with forcing the queen trade, I think, obviously, is that they have a bishop back there. So they were going to take here, and I would take there, and then they would get my knight too. And I was just going to be down a piece. So should I have taken that? No, because then I would have lost my knight. Should I have moved my knight to here? Maybe that's what I should have done. Oh no, I can't move my knight. They're going to checkmate me. Well, that's why I didn't move my knight. My knight's keeping them from checkmating me. Oh, I should have put the rook out. That would have pinned the pawn and gave the king an escape route. I bet it was the rook. It was. Okay. Took me a second to see that. But yeah, I could have. Now the pawn can't take the knight. The knight can still guard the checkmate spot. And I don't know what I would have done next. But anyway, next. Oh, that was it? That was my last mistake? That blunder was bad enough that I lost the game. I didn't have any other mistakes after that? Are you serious? Yes, I did. Yeah, I actually did, according to this. What? Why did it stop then? Why? It says done reviewing white mistakes. I'll be honest. One of the reasons I decided to make today's video using Lichess was because the last few videos I've done using the chess.com properties, they've just had so many bugs. The server went down when I was trying to run game review. Then I did a quiz on a chess.com owned site, a different site, but that was owned by them, and it had some problems as well. I've had problems with their puzzles not counting my points when I get them right, but definitely counting them when I get them wrong. So I decided to go on Lichess, but it says done reviewing white mistakes. But if we scroll down, it was a little while, but then I had 1, 2, 3, 4 blunders later in the game. Now I never did. You can't quite see the graph at the bottom. I never did have the lead again to give it away. Here's where I gave away the lead for the last time, but I did have more mistakes. So I don't know why it says that was it. Can I just go learn from those on my own? It was -6. My opponent had -6 here. No, sorry, -11. And I needed to play rook to g7 was my best move by far. My next move, you can probably see it right there next to, right there. It says b5 was counted as inaccurate. But if you look up there at the engine at the top, b5 is my best move here. So this isn't helping. Maybe the next game will have the types of mistakes that I can learn from. Let's do that. All right, if I'm counting right, this is the third game. I did win this one. I played the Italian game. I'm going to click learn from my mistakes. It does look from the graph like there were a few ups and downs. Let's see. Okay, here on move 10, I made a mistake of playing bishop to e3. I thought that was a good move here. They had 2 pieces attacking this pawn. Oh, but I had 2 pieces defending it. Okay, I was thinking I needed to bring another defender to that pawn, but I don't. Okay, so I should have played something else. Should I have just pushed this pawn? I don't think so. Or should I have played a3, which would keep their knight from coming down here after I push this pawn? Because, right, if I push this pawn now, they're just going to drop down in here. So maybe I should have played a3. I'm going to guess it's one of those two. Let's try this one. Evaluating my moves. So that probably wasn't it then. Oh, it says that was okay. All right. So what did I play instead? Oh, I protected the pawn, which didn't need protecting, but I should have played that instead. Okay. Next. Oh, here they pushed their d pawn. And I took it, but I shouldn't have. That was a blunder. I'm up +6, and taking that pawn brought us back to zeros. But I should have done something else. Was it this one again? I'm going to guess it was this one again. Nope, it wasn't that. That was even worse than what I played. All right. Was it pushing this forward? Nope. That was just as bad as what I played. There's a big red X right over here. Can you see that? That's funny. And oh, and behind the camera here, it says, you can do better. Apparently I cannot. Because the move I played was bad, and then when I thought of something to do instead, it was bad also. I mean, I could put the queen over on b3, lining up with the bishop, but that pawn's defended twice, so it wasn't that. That's should I have moved my bishop over here and pointed at the queen? Wouldn't it have just moved out of the way? Oh, that was it. Really? And it says they would just move out of the way. And then I would play e6. Threatening the queen with my pawn and protected by the bishop and the rook. So they would take with the pawn, and then I would take back. Oh, and I would win their queen. Oh my goodness. Well, that's a long series. Okay. Well, it was that. Threatening the queen that hasn't moved yet in order to get it to move out of the way so that I can threaten it with this pawn so that they'll take it. So that I'll have a check here protected by the rook. And they'll basically have to take, and I'll take their queen for a bishop. And that's where the +6 comes from. Okay, I got it. Next. Okay, here they have taken what appears to be a pawn. I moved my rook over to get it out of danger because it looks like my rook's in danger. And we were even here, but this mistake gave my opponent a -1 advantage. So I should have, oh, the bishop's hanging. Looky there. I could have just taken the bishop. And then when they took my rook, I would take back. Is that it? Yep, that was it. And it does say that this is their best move. And that wait, no, it's not anymore. Now knight to f6 is their best move. I think most people I've played would probably take here, and then I would take back. But anyway, but I guessed it. It was taking the free bishop. Because when I moved this rook over, that gave them a chance to save one. Wait, they save one bishop, but I still get the other one? Or did they have a way to save both of them? I don't remember. Okay, I brought my rook back because it was in danger, but I should have done something different. Oh, should I have put it here since it would have been protected by my queen? Should I have put my rook on d7 at this point? And then when they saved their queen, I would have maybe gotten the knight? No, I don't know. Probably. Oh, yeah, that was it. Okay. Well, that wasn't too hard to find. These are helping a little bit. Next. Oh, done reviewing white mistakes. That's all I didn't have any more. Okay, my opponent resigned about 4 moves later. Why did they resign again? Let's see. We're even here. Wait, no, what's going on? It's playing out something that didn't happen. Why is it doing that? I don't know. Okay. That's what happened in the game. And my opponent was ahead. And I played my best move, which attacks the knight, but not really because it's protected. My opponent is still ahead if they'll put a rook over here on my queen, but instead they did this, threatening my rook. And I just moved it over. So I have a very slight lead. Then they played there, which allowed me to take the pawn. So I have an advantage. I think the problem here is that this is a fork. It allows the knight and the rook. And then after they did that and I took the rook, then they resigned. Okay. Well, this video would have run more smoothly if the interface would help out a little bit, or if I was more familiar with the interface. I mean, you hate to blame yourself. It's easier to blame the website, but part of this is me. I know that. Okay, that was that game. So now we're on the 4th one. Let's do that. Okay, in this one, my opponent played the Caro-Kann defense, and I resigned after 26 moves in the position seen on the board here too. I mean, it looks like they have a fork here, and they're ahead -6. So I was probably right to resign, although both of us having about 6 minutes left. I guess I could have played on and seen if I could have beaten them in if we traded off a bunch of pieces, maybe I could have done okay in an end game. I was probably tired and just didn't feel like doing that. But anyway, in this game, according to the graph that you can't see down here at the bottom, I never had an advantage. Maybe after move 4 or 5, I have the normal advantage that white has after a few moves of the opening. But then after that, I was never ahead. I don't think my opponent made any mistakes. But anyway, let's learn from mine. My first mistake was on move 18. And what I did was I brought the bishop up here to d2. But what I should have done was, as you see, my opponent's leading slightly. They've been making more perfect moves than me for 17 moves. I guess I could have brought the f-pawn up to protect my e-pawn. I don't know. That's my guess. Let's see if that's it. Oh, it's evaluating, so that wasn't the one it was looking for. Yeah, the bar just dropped there. So that was at least as bad as what I played. Okay. Well, I thought I was developing my last piece. The bishop obviously hasn't moved yet, or if it has moved, it then went back home, so it needs to get out of the way of these rooks. I don't know. Should I play a pawn move? Nope, not that. Okay. What about this pawn 2 forward? No, oh, that's even worse. I have no idea. Is there view the solution. Oh, I should have put the queen back on the home square. Wait, that was my best move, to put the queen back on the home square. It's not my best move, according to Stockfish. H4 is my best move, according to the old Stockfish that this site is running now instead of the newer one of the newer versions. Yeah, if anybody knows why Stockfish went backward why Lichess went backward on Stockfish to 14 and while chess.com went forward to 16, let me know in the comments. But anyway, according to this version of Stockfish, H4 was my best move, but the game review thought that this was. Okay, well, I think it was Gotham Chess who said that at our level, 90% of the time, 80 to 90% of the time, going backwards isn't the best move. And I've kind of taken that to heart. Sometimes I do go backwards if it's a capture, or if they have a pawn here, my piece is in danger. Sometimes it is best to go back, but here I didn't see a reason to, and I still don't. So that didn't help. Next. Okay, here I brought my bishop backward, all on my own, unprompted, but the reason I did it was so that I could push this pawn. I'm pretty sure I remember that. But that was not my best move. Oh, and it looks like I did bring my queen back at some point. I did on move 19. I played queen to d1. So at some point I knew that was a good idea. Oh, I wonder what prompted that. Anyway, but bringing my bishop backward was a bad idea. What about bringing it forward? Wait, no. They have 2 pieces hitting this pawn. Oh, that's why it was a bad idea to bring it backward, because they have two pieces hitting that pawn. This not only removes the bishop as a defender, but it blocks the rook from defending the pawn. I don't know. A4? Nope. I had no idea. It was probably something silly like H4. Oh, I got it. It was H4. It was H4. Oh my goodness. H4 was my best move in that position. Is that because the bishop can't move? Yep. And now they need to play H6 so they'll have a place to hide it, because I'm going to play H5 next. Their bishop can't get out of there unless they move that pawn. And then I have a pretty good attack coming, because they'll play here, they'll go back there. Let's see, right? Yeah, they play here, I play here, they move their bishop back. Well, wait, then what do I do? Oh, then it says I would come up here. Oh, my opponent still has a very slight advantage, even if I played the best move. Next. Okay, here I finally got to play the F pawn forward, but that's not what I should have done. Was it H4 again? Probably not. It was H4. Okay. Done reviewing white mistakes in that game. Well, I was way off when I was guessing A4, but H4 twice is what I should have played here, and this is what I've been talking about in some other recent games, where I'm beginning to wonder if the reason my opponents seem to sometimes just play random pawn pushes, like against the Caro-Kann sometimes they'll just play F4 and G4, and then there'll be a rain of pawns. But I wonder if they're not getting that from these analyses here, where Stockfish says, oh yeah, just push the pawns in front of your king as far as you can. Just keep going. I mean, this was probably a mistake, because they can just take so easily with multiple pieces guarding that square, but nothing was guarding this square, so maybe just shoot him forward there. Again, it looks like it was supposed to induce H6 so the bishop can hide, but then what happens after I keep going? I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do over there. But, I mean, Stockfish does. But anyway, maybe eventually I'll remember this during a game, and when I can't figure out what's the best move, I guess I'll do that. Instead of that, I'll play H4. Maybe. Let's go on to the next game. In this one, I played E4. My opponent played the Caro-Kann defense again, but this time I won. So let's see, did I make some mistakes? I did. According to the list down here at the bottom, I made 4 mistakes. They were fairly early, so let's learn from them. I made a mistake on move 10, right after my opponent played this inaccuracy. My mistake was this. Well, I think it was obvious I was trying to induce them to take, in which case I would just whack their rook down there. But that wasn't it. Oh, should I have just gone ahead and played E5? Yep, all right. Because they walked right into it. That's why I should have played that. Also, this stunts their pawn development, I think. Although they probably would have tried to break the center here, but maybe not, because I've already castled and they haven't. I don't know. Okay, but I would have got connect 4. Okay, so maybe Stockfish is aware of the connect 4 quest. It would have been really hard to get connect 5 in this case, but it's possible. Anyway, I figured that one out pretty quick. Next. Oh, that was bad? Was that bad? It took us from plus 0.8 to minus 0.7. Well, I thought it was locked in there pretty nicely with the pawn and the rook. Plus it's kind of, patrolling down here. But that wasn't it. Should I have gone this way, maybe? Oh, nothing's defending my c-pawn. I should have defended my c-pawn. I bet that's it. Good, good. I do sometimes have a problem with finding my own undefended backward pawns. I need to work on that. It's one of many weaknesses, but at least I'm recognizing it. I'm getting better at seeing some of the other things that I was weak at. But yeah, that one, that pawn was not defended. Okay. Oh, and here, this pawn was not defended, and I moved to defend it, but that was a mistake. It took us from even to minus 1.3. Oh, nothing was attacking it, though. What should I have done? No, because they're knights. That was another reason, I think. I was thinking of putting my knight in here to threaten that rook. That rook can't move. But then they would take. So if I had my bishop here and then I advanced the pawn, then that would be okay. Maybe. At least that's what I remember. Oh, should I have just put this knight in here? No, because they have 2 pieces defending that square. If I put this in here, they could take, and when I took, they'd take back, and I would have lost a pawn out of that deal. I have no idea. Wait, was it just something stupid like that? Nope, it wasn't that. Okay. Not that either. Oh, that one it finally said was a good move, but it had to have been at least an inaccuracy to take us from even to minus 0.7. What was it? It was bishop to f4. That's the only move that would not have been counted as inaccurate. Okay, next. Okay, here I played over there, which I guess was bad because they could move the knight here and defend the bishop, and then I would have to trade off for it. Or was it bad because I need to advance? Oh, should I have just advanced the pawn? Oh, but then I couldn't have protected it on the next square, on the 7th rank. And they're attacking it now. I think one reason they moved up here was to guard the promotion square plus to allow their rook out. But I should have done, was it here again? Nope, it wasn't bishop to f4 now. Well, it's a good thing my opponent messed up here pretty soon because this position here was lost to me. What was it? I guess this protects the pawn, which I don't get why that move's so good. I don't get why they wouldn't immediately play an e5 here. I mean, yeah, I could jump behind it, but they were going to move the rook soon anyway. I don't get that. That was the last mistake for that game. Okay. And like I said, I did end up winning that game because my opponent blundered pretty badly right after that. And according to the graph, I ran away with it. So, okay. And this one, we played the Italian game and I lost. And it says I had 2 mistakes and a blunder. Let's see if we can learn from them. Okay, I pushed this pawn forward. Should I have pushed the other one instead? Oh, okay. I didn't understand the difference there. I mean, this one just forces the bishop back. I thought if I played this one first, it would force the knight back, and I didn't see what the difference was. And I also thought if they took, their rook's not defended, so I would get their rook. But it was better to chase the bishop. I'm not sure why. Is it because after they put the bishop back, I could still play the other one? That might be it. Oh no, I couldn't take their rook because my pawn would be in the way. And my rook's undefended too. Oh, okay. I get it now. Yeah, this pawn would have been here. So when I went, if they took and I took, then my rook's undefended. Okay, that makes sense. Next. All right, here I played d4, which I had clearly been intending to play since I played c3 to guard that square. And I have this guarding that, but that was bad. Should I have just castled? No, I should not have castled. Okay, bishop out? Nope. That wasn't it. I was trying to add more support to that. That? Nope. That's not good because they can just take it. What was it? What was it? Was it just here? I don't understand. I mean, I get that it defends that, but I was defending that anyway, and I thought that this was making the play for the center like you normally do in the Italian game. But I was wrong. Okay. Oh, that was a blunder. I figured this one out right after I played it. This is the blunder that I lost because they just took it because this pawn was pinned. So that was bad. Obviously what I was thinking was I was aiming for the rook, but my opponent saw almost immediately that the pawn was pinned. They snap took. As soon as I put the knight there, they just chopped it off. So I got the feeling that they were significantly better than me at that point. And I resigned without, again, I could have played on, but I mean, they have some bishops kind of pointing down through here. This one's going to take a little while to free up because of the pawns in the way, but again, 2 bishops pointed right at my castled king. They have a queen right in here, very close. How long it's going to take to get in there, I don't know, but and this one's going to come soon. Didn't know what I could do. But anyway, yeah, that was a mistake. I do get that. I don't know what I should have played instead. It says we're actually close to even. I might even have a slight edge if I will just play a different move. I can't move that pawn, so it's not that. I can't move that pawn, so it's not that. It's also not moving one of those pawns, so it's not that. Guess I could move my king over. Wait, should I move my queen up to try to come in here, aiming at stuff like this? There's a lot of undefended pieces back there. I just realized those 3, the pawn, the rook, and the light squared bishop are all undefended. So maybe, should it have been this? Okay, I need to look a little deeper in the position. Should have played queen to a4. What was my time? Oh, I had 7 minutes left here. I should have been able to find, not that. Yeah, I should have been able to see why that was bad. And I don't know if I would have found this one or not, but maybe I wouldn't have played the knight move. Maybe once I realized how bad that was, I would look for something else. But yeah, those 3 pieces are all undefended, so it makes sense to put the queen in here in order to get it in there. c6. Okay, got it. At least I think that's why it was headed in there. Well, I've lost track of how many games that is, but I think it was 6. Should I keep going? I feel like I'm actually getting a little bit better as this goes along, so I think I will keep going. Okay, in this one I played e4. My opponent played the Scandinavian, and I did win it. Just spoiler alert, if you can tell from the pieces on the board, I won by resignation, but it looks like I did have a blunder and some inaccuracies, so let's see what the Learn from Your Mistakes button will do. Way back here on after move 18, this was a blunder, giving me a 0.4 advantage. But I missed something. Here, I played queen to e3. I probably need to move my queen somewhere because it's under attack by this knight. I can't just snap it off, can I? Because it's protected. They have a queen and a bishop lined up at this pawn here. Should I have just moved over to g3 so I could keep protecting this pawn? I do remember, at least I think it was this game, I remember considering putting my knight out on a4 at this point, which would open up this threat on their queen, and the knight would guard my bishop. The reason that I decided against it, again, I think it was this game, is that they could leave their queen sitting there for a second. Take my queen, that's check. Can't take their queen. I have to get out of check. So I'd have to take their knight one way or the other, and then they could move their queen. So I know it's not, at least I'm pretty sure it's not that. Was it just dropping back one? It's evaluating it. No, I can do better. Okay. Can I though? Can I? Wait, was it just moving the king over? No, because then they'll take my queen. I don't know. View the solution. Oh, that surprised me. But that's the reason my queen was here, was guarding this. What? And I'm up +7, and it says they would take there. Really? Now I only have one legal move. Good thing my rooks are protecting each other. Their best move here is to castle. Probably, because they need to protect the rook. Okay. It says just to leave the queen there. That makes me very nervous, because I don't have any safe squares. Their knight's guarding that square, their knight's guarding that square, their knight's guarding that square, their knight's guarding that square. So I can't come back along this diagonal. If they put a rook over here on me, I'd have to go here. If they play that, yeah, that'd be my only safe square on the whole board. But it says my best move right now is knight c to e4. Oh, I would be threatening their queen, but then they would just take it, right? Stockfish thinks maybe rook to a7 is just as good as taking that knight, because I am running out of squares. Okay, but let's say they took it, and then I would take with my other knight. Oh, I'm threatening their queen now, so they need to. I'm very surprised. Stockfish says their best move is to take that pawn. Why wouldn't they move their queen? Like, they have safe places, like here. And then I would... Oh, their knight's hanging. Oh. You know what? That's actually something I might find in a bullet game, where I'm just like, ooh, free pawn, and I'll shoot down there and take it, and then realize, oh no, I got my queen trapped. But in this rapid game, I was supposed to find that they couldn't quite trap my queen. I would have a way out, but very, very carefully. If they played rook to a7, I would have to be very careful. And my best move was actually to threaten their queen and then trade off one of their knights, let their queen go, and then I would take their other knight. And my queen's still okay. Next. Oh, that was it for that game. As I said, I did end up winning. My opponent blundered soon after, and I ran away with it. So I think that was the 7th one. Let's keep going. In this one, my opponent did play the French defense. And at no point was I ahead in this game. According to the graph, I was behind by move 3 or 4 and stayed behind the whole game. But it also only says I had 2 blunders. No mistakes, just 2 blunders. Let's find out what they were. One was on move 5. Okay, I said 3 or 4. It was taking that pawn. I should not have taken that pawn. Doesn't look like the French defense, does it? But we started off here. That's the French defense, right? And I tried something sneaky over this way, because I think I'd read somewhere that now if they do this, I can come in this way, maybe. And that's what they did. So I took it. And they took there and I took there. Oh, no, I didn't take there. Maybe I was supposed to. Was I supposed to take there? Oh, I don't know. That wasn't a mistake. But my opponent's already ahead. Okay, and here's the mistake that I made. I was taking that, and I shouldn't have. Should I have just gotten the bishop out? I can't put the knight out. This? Nope. Oh, it says good move, but that's minus 1.6. That's not good. What should I have done? D3. That's what I should have done. Would they have taken? Wouldn't they have taken it? They still would have been ahead. And my opponent's up a pawn. Neither one of us have a D or an E pawn. I don't have a C pawn. I need to figure out how to play against the French, because, like I said, here on move 4, I'm way behind. Not way behind, but you get what I'm saying. All right, here, again, I was never ahead in this game. On move 8, my opponent has a slight edge, and I blundered by blocking this check. Should I have just gotten out of check? Oh, I should have taken? I didn't think I should have taken, because then they would take back and win my rook. I should have taken. And they definitely would have taken back, it says. Oh, but then I block with the bishop and I'm protecting my rook, and they have to run away. Okay. Well, yeah, I definitely need to practice the French, because going all the way back, when they played that, what should I have played? Let's close off this learning from mistakes. I should have played knight to f3 or d4. Well, d4 is what everybody always plays here, right? But Stockfish says knight to f3 is slightly better. I wonder if it'll say that after I play it. Plus 0.1. Okay, what's the other one after I play it? Zeros. Okay, well, then they're going to play this. That's what the French is, basically. And knight to c3 now. So I probably shouldn't have played the c3 line. Oh, and I actually have a 0.5 here. Okay, well next time I'll put both of those in the front and see what happens. Let's go to the next one. And this one I played the Indian defense, and I lost very quickly. Very quickly. I was so far down after 13 moves that I resigned, and I could tell that I was far down. So what did I do wrong? Right here, my opponent is up plus 0.7 already, and that was a problem. I think it's a problem because they have more pieces defending that square than I do. I just have 2 knights defending that square. So instead of that, what should I have done? Should I have played here? Here. Well, it wasn't a6. Was it f6? No. Oh, I'm going to click view the solution. I guess my brain's too tired. I can't figure out what it might be. It was moving the rook. Maybe to do this so my rook could be behind that pawn and I would have another defender on it. Maybe. Anything else? Oh, I wasn't supposed to take that pawn, but my opponent is already significantly ahead here, even if I don't blunder by taking that pawn. I'm going to guess it was the rook thing again. It was not. Although that was better than what I did play. What was the solution? It was getting this knight out of the way. Oh, that bishop's undefended. Okay. Now the bishop's going to move somewhere. The engine says it's not. It says they're going to move the knight out here and protect that. But I would take it anyway, and they would take back with their queen. Okay. But I would still be way behind at this point, as you can see. Did I have any other problems? Oh, that was it. I was already lost because I took the pawn instead of doing that. Next. Okay, in this game, which I think is the 10th one I've covered in this video, my opponent played the Sicilian defense, and I resigned after 18 moves because I could tell that I was lost. And the computer says you're close enough that at your level you should be able to play on and hope your opponent blunders, but they weren't blundering yet that I could tell. Learn from your mistakes. Way back on move 7, that was a blunder on their part. I should have done something that wasn't moving my a pawn. Why did I move my a pawn? I don't know why I moved my a pawn. Should I have gotten a bishop out? I still would have been slightly ahead, but that wasn't the best move apparently. Was it this? It was that. Really? I'm not keen to break open the center until I've gotten this stuff out and castled, but I definitely should have moved that, since they would have taken it, and then I would have taken it, and then they wouldn't have moved their knight. They would have got their bishop out. Oh, because of this, so I would have had to do something about that first. It would have got really complicated. Okay. That's the problem with chess. It's complicated. And I'm probably failing myself for looking for easy answers. But that's not accurate. I don't think I should characterize it as looking for easy answers, but I'm looking for solid principles and a set of guidelines that can guide my moves. For example, one of the guidelines is to not break open the center before you've castled. But this is going against that, so that's what makes it complicated for me, because I would have to know an exact sequence to keep my king's vulnerable here. It's all opened up out here. Big open spaces coming in here toward my king. Don't I need to castle? I mean, that explains why the move I did play was bad, but why is that good? I don't know. Okay, here, again, I had a slight edge, and playing queen to e2 was wrong. Well, I see that. Okay, this I do remember. That was a, what do you call it, a misclick? Mouse slip? I meant to play here. I thought I had touched my bishop. This was just a few nights ago, and when I clicked on that square, my queen went there. And I almost resigned then. Sometimes when I do a pretty dumb-looking mouse slip misclick, I just resigned because I don't want to try to salvage a game that's broken already. But I decided to play on. So this one, I meant to do this. Is that was not good either? Okay. Yeah, that wasn't, it wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered. The move I wanted to play was not good either. Okay, what about this? Okay, it was getting the knight out. I'm not sure why. Next. Castling was bad. Well, that was the whole reason. See, after I did the misclick and then I had to move my queen so I could get my bishop out, then I castled. That was bad. So I should have gotten the knight out? Okay. I should have gotten the knight out. Next. That was bad. Oh, I probably should have got the knight out. I didn't even look at the position. That's what it was the last 2 times, but not this time. It wasn't either a knight move. Well, then what was it? Was it here? Oh, my bishop, my pawn's guarding that square. So what are they going to do? I've actually been in this exact position several times, and every time my opponent has played this f-pawn forward. Every time. They did not do what this says, which is move their queen. And every time I've taken it, and they've taken back with their bishop, and then I have to move my bishop or trade off because their queen's protecting it. And every time I lose this advanced forward pawn, they end up with 2 center pawns unopposed. So I don't know why that's such a good move. Maybe I need to figure out what to do if they do that. Just take it and then... But then again, yeah, they end up with the 2 center pawns unopposed. So that's why I didn't play that and probably wouldn't even consider it because I lose out of it every time. Next, did I make more mistakes? I did. Oh, this time I played knight to c3 and it was very bad. What should I have played? Oh, that's even worse. Okay. I don't know. That's even worse. Nobody knows. What is it? View the solution. Okay. I get it. They were attacking that pawn twice. Defended again. Okay. Anything else? No. I think I have 2 games left. All right. In this one, my opponent played the Philidor defense, which again, I have been seeing a lot recently, even though I haven't seen anybody on YouTube recommending it, but they're getting it from somewhere. A bunch of people playing the Philidor. Maybe they just like it. I don't know. Maybe they've been playing it for years. But anyway, I did win. My opponent resigned in this current position, but I did make a few mistakes, a handful. Let's see what I did wrong. Here, I got the rook out. All right, well, I did that because in so many evaluations of these e4 positions, what I'm supposed to do is get the rook out to e1. I guess and I couldn't yet develop this knight, not well. Also, I saw this is a completely open file. I thought about doing this because then, I can move my bishop someplace and they'll be vulnerable. So it seemed like a good idea at the time, but it was not. Should I have just taken that pawn? No. The reason I just now thought of that is because a lot of times in various positions, if I have a bishop pointing at that pawn and the computer says I made a mistake, it was not taking it, but I shouldn't have done it this time. All right. Should I have gone here? No. Should I have gotten my knight out? Oh, that's okay. Put your knight on a6. Stockfish also suggests that a lot, putting your knights out there on the edge. So again, completely against what beginners and lower level players used to be taught. Just put your knights on the rim. So if we've learned anything from Stockfish, and I still got at least 1 game to go, you're supposed to play h4 a lot, and you're supposed to put knights on the rim. So maybe if you do play h4, you can just stick your knight behind it there. So I'm going to start opening. No, I'm not. I'm just kidding. But you could start opening with h4, putting your knight behind it, and then putting this knight over here. Okay. Did I make any other mistakes? I did. It's a lot of mistakes for a game I won. Was it this again? No. Oh, it's fine. Stockfish says that's fine. All right. If you stuck with me this long in the video, which I highly doubt because we're close to an hour on my end, it's getting a little silly. Last game to go. I did win this one because my opponent ran out of time. But as you can see, they didn't just run out of time, they ran out of pieces. I was going to win this anyway, but I did have 2 mistakes early on. My opponent, which you cannot see on the graph, led for the entire opening and the entire middle game. They were ahead. I only got the lead as we transitioned into the end game, so it's a good thing I didn't resign earlier. One of my mistakes was right here on move 3. This is what I've been playing the whole time. How was that a mistake? Oh, because that pawn's undefended. Because they played this knight instead of the other one. So should I have pushed forward? Oh. I did learn something. When they play this knight, you do something different than if they play the other knight. Okay, next. It was a mistake to take that pawn. This was actually part of what led me to becoming ahead as we transitioned into the end game, was this little exchange right here, because then I was able to drop my bishop back and I was able to, I don't remember exactly how it worked out, but I thought I handled this little congestion really expertly and my opponent did not. And just about 5 to 8 moves after this, I was ahead in command. I was a little worried at this point, but I said I thought I came out of this expertly, but I should not have taken there. I should have challenged their bishop. Nope, that was much worse. Well, it's a good thing I didn't take my time to think about it. I would have played something worse than what I played. Oh, I should have sacrificed my rook for the bishop. And then when they took it, just drop this back. I didn't want to drop it back. Not yet. I wanted to get rid of those pawns before I dropped it back. All right, Ale. I should have sacrificed the, I'm not going to shout it because that seems ridiculous, but the rook. Anyway, was that it? That was it, because not long after that, see, what I did here was take this pawn. Okay, they took back. I dropped here knowing that my knight defends that square. They took that, and I took back, and they took there, and then I went there. That blocks this pawn. It attacks this queen. Now, I'm still behind, but I didn't know it. I'm behind -5 here. My opponent went in there, which was a blunder, and I took it. But I wasn't too worried about that pawn. I was worried about this knight because it's hanging. So I moved it, attacking their bishop, which gives up the pawn. That's fine. I'm going to get one of these pieces, if not both of them, right? They came after the knight, so I forked their rooks. They left that one unprotected, so I got the whole rook. And then when they did that, I I gave my king an escape square in case they tried this little trick. I would just move my king, and then they could trade rooks in front of that pawn. Well, first they decided to protect the pawn that way, and then they did the thing, so I just moved my king out of there. They did trade rooks. I had pre-moved that recapture there. That pawn's never going anywhere. That light-squared bishop cannot get rid of my rook. So all I have to do is go get rid of that light-squared bishop, and here we go. They moved it out of the way, but I took the pawn. So what are they going to do, right? That pawn's just gone. And my opponent started running out of time here. They started taking, it felt like longer and longer to make each one of these moves, but I felt pretty certain I could do okay here. And I was trying not to move too quickly, you know, to blunder anything. But I was able to eventually get down here and track that bishop down. Right there, and that's where my opponent ran out of time. So I was pretty happy with that one, but yeah, you saw I made the mistake very, very early in the game. Move 3, because it allowed this. Was that their best move? Yes, their only move that didn't take us back to even. Yeah, that was my mistake, because they had started with this, which is just a little weird. So I did this, which is my normal thing, and then as soon as they hopped the knight out there, I was like, oh, I'll get my bishop out and castle, but that's wrong. So what I should have done was pushed forward. Well, thank you for being here once again. I'm now caught up on analyzing these games. Hopefully, even though I don't have a feeling right now, the emotion of, oh yeah, I learned something, I'm going to be much better now. I know that working through these things and talking them out loud, pointing them, repeating them, trying to explain them to you, or even the times where I got frustrated, it's putting chess in my head. It's laying groundwork. I think eventually it'll build up to something. I hope. We'll see you next time.